Welcome to the Bible in a Year reading plan. Together we will read through the entire Bible. A portion from the Old Testament, New Testament, Psalms and Proverbs every day. Today's reading is in the video image. Read along, listen daily, and grow in the Word. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay on track with us daily. And you can always go back to previous videos if you miss any days. Genesis 31:1. Now Jacob heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and from what was our father's he has acquired all this wealth. 2. And Jacob saw the countenance of Laban, and indeed it was not favorable toward him as before. 3. Then the Lord said to Jacob, Return to the land of your fathers and to your family, and I will be with you. For so Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field, to his flock. 5. And said to them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not favorable toward me as before, but the God of my father has been with me. 6. And you know that with all my might I have served your father. 7. Yet your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. But God did not allow him to hurt me. 8. If he said thus, the speckled shall be your wages, then all the flocks bore speckled. And if he said thus, the streaked shall be your wages, then all the flocks bore streaked. 9. So God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me. 10. And it happened, at the time when the flocks conceived, that I lifted my eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the flocks were streaked, speckled, and gray-spotted. 11. Then the angel of God spoke to me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. 12. And he said, Lift your eyes now and see, all the rams which leap on the flocks are streaked, speckled, and gray-spotted. For I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. 13. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar and where you made a vow to me. Now arise, get out of this land, and return to the land of your family. 14. Then Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, Is there still any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? 15. Are we not considered strangers by him? For he has sold us, and also completely consumed our money. 16. For all these riches which God has taken from our father are really ours and our children's. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do it. 17. Then Jacob rose and set his sons and his wives on camels. 18. And he carried away all his livestock and all his possessions which he had gained, his acquired livestock which he had gained in Padan Aram, to go to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. 19. Now Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the household idols that were her father's. 20. And Jacob stole away, unknown to Laban the Syrian, and that he did not tell him that he intended to flee. 21. So he fled with all that he had. He arose and crossed the river, and headed toward the mountains of Gilead. 22. And Laban was told on the third day that Jacob had fled. 23. Then he took his brethren with him and pursued him for 7 days' journey. And he overtook him in the mountains of Gilead. 24. But God had come to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said to him, Be careful that you speak to Jacob neither good nor bad. 25. So Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mountains, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mountains of Gilead. 26. And Laban said to Jacob, What have you done, that you have stolen away unknown to me, and carried away my daughters like captives taken with the sword? 27. Why did you flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and not tell me? For I might have sent you away with joy and songs, with timbrel and harp. 28. And you did not allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Now you have done foolishly in so doing. 29. It is in my power to do you harm, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, Be careful that you speak to Jacob neither good nor bad. 30. And now you have surely gone because you greatly long for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods? 31. Then Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Perhaps you would take your daughters from me by force. 32. With whomever you find your gods, do not let him live. In the presence of our brethren, identify what I have of yours and take it with you. For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. 33. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, into Leah's tent, and into the two maids' tents, but he did not find them. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. 34 Now Rachel had taken the household idols, put them in the camel's saddle, and sat on them. And Laban searched all about the tent but did not find them. 35 And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise before you, for the manner of women is with me. And he searched but did not find the household idols. 36 Then Jacob was angry and rebuked Laban, and Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that you have so hotly pursued me? 37 Although you have searched all my things, what part of your household things have you found? Set it here before my brethren and your brethren, that they may judge between us both. 38 These 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried their young, and I have not eaten the rams of your flock. 39 That which was torn by beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it. You required it from my hand, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. 40 There I was. In the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. 41 Thus I have been in your house 20 years. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times. 42 Unless the God of my father, the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac, had been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you last night. 43 And Laban answered and said to Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and this flock is my flock. All that you see is mine. But what can I do this day to these my daughters, or to their children whom they have borne? 44 Now therefore, come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me. 45 So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. 46 Then Jacob said to his brethren, Gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there on the heap. 47 Laban called it Jegar-Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. 48 And Laban said, This heap is a witness between you and me this day. Therefore its name was called Galeed. 49 Also Mizpah, because he said, May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from another. 50 If you afflict my daughters, or if you take other wives besides my daughters, although no man is with us, see, God is witness between you and me. 51 Then Laban said to Jacob, Here is this heap and here is this pillar, which I have placed between you and me. 52 This heap is a witness, and this pillar is a witness, that I will not pass beyond this heap to you, and you will not pass beyond this heap and this pillar to me, for harm. 53 The God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, and the God of their father judge between us. And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. 54 Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they ate bread and stayed all night on the mountain. 55 And early in the morning Laban arose, and kissed his sons and daughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned to his place. Genesis 32. 1 So Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. 2 When Jacob saw them, he said, This is God's camp. And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. 3 Then Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. 4 And he commanded them, saying, Speak thus to my lord Esau, Thus your servant Jacob says, I have dwelt with Laban and stayed there until now. 5 I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, and male and female servants, and I have sent to tell my lord, that I may find favor in your sight. 6 Then the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to your brother Esau, and he also is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him. 7 So Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that were with him, and the flocks and herds and camels, into 2 companies. 8 And he said, If Esau comes to the one company and attacks it, then the other company which is left will escape. 9 Then Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, the Lord, who said to me, Return to your country and to your family, and I will deal well with you. 10 I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which you have shown your servant, for I crossed over this Jordan with my staff, and now I have become 2 companies. 11 Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he come and attack me and the mother with the children. 12 For you said, I will surely treat you well, and make your descendants as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. 13 So he lodged there that same night, and took what came to his hand as a present for Esau his brother, 14 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 15 30 milk camels with their colts, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 foals. 16 Then he delivered them to the hand of his servants, every drove by itself, and said to his servants, Pass over before me, and put some distance between successive droves. 17 And he commanded the first one, saying, When Esau my brother meets you and asks you, saying, To whom do you belong, and where are you going? Whose are these in front of you? 18 Then you shall say, They are your servant Jacob's. It is a present sent to my lord Esau, and behold, he also is behind us. 19 So he commanded the second, the third, and all who followed the droves, saying, In this manner you shall speak to Esau when you find him. 20 And also say, Behold, your servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goes before me, and afterward I will see his face. Perhaps he will accept me. 21 So the present went on over before him, but he himself lodged that night in the camp. 22 And he arose that night and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of Jabbok. 23 He took them, sent them over the brook, and sent over what he had. 24 Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. 25 Now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. 26 And he said, Let me go, for the day breaks. But he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. 27 So he said to him, What is your name? He said, Jacob. 28 And he said, Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and have prevailed. 29 Then Jacob asked, saying, Tell me your name, I pray. And he said, Why is it that you ask about my name? And he blessed him there. 30 And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. 31 Just as he crossed over Peniel the sun rose on him, and he limped on his hip. 32 Therefore to this day the children of Israel do not eat the muscle that shrank, which is on the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip and the muscle that shrank. Matthew 10:24 A disciple is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. 25 It is enough for a disciple that he be like his teacher, and a servant like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more will they call those of his household? 26 Therefore do not fear them. For there is nothing covered that will not be revealed, and hidden that will not be known. 27 Whatever I tell you in the dark, speak in the light, and what you hear in the ear, preach on the housetops. 28 And do not fear those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. 29 Are not 2 sparrows sold for a copper coin? And not one of them falls to the ground apart from your Father's will. 30 But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. 31 Do not fear therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows. 32 Therefore whoever confesses me before men, him I will also confess before my Father who is in heaven. 33 But whoever denies me before men, him I will also deny before my Father who is in heaven. 34 Do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace but a sword. 35 For I have come to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. 36 And a man's enemies will be those of his own household. 37 He who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. 38 And he who does not take his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. 39 He who finds his life will lose it, and he who loses his life for my sake will find it. 40 He who receives you receives me, And he who receives me receives him who sent me. 41 He who receives a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he who receives a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. 42 And whoever gives one of these little ones only a cup of cold water in the name of a disciple, assuredly, I say to you, he shall by no means lose his reward. Psalm 13. 1 To the chief musician. A psalm of David. How long, O Lord? Will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? 2 How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? 3 Consider and hear me, O Lord my God, enlighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death, for lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him, lest those who trouble me rejoice when I am moved. 5 But I have trusted in your mercy. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. 6 I will sing to the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me. Proverbs 13. 1 A wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. 2 A man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the unfaithful feeds on violence. 3 He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction. 4 The soul of a lazy man desires, and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. 5 A righteous man hates lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and comes to shame. 6 Righteousness guards him whose way is blameless, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. 7 There is one who makes himself rich, yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. 8 The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor does not hear rebuke. 9 The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked will be put out. 10 By pride comes nothing but strife, but with the well-advised is wisdom. 11 Wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. 12 Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. 13 He who despises the word will be destroyed, but he who fears the commandment will be rewarded. 14 The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to turn one away from the snares of death. 15 Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. 16 Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays open his folly. 17 A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a faithful ambassador brings health. 18 Poverty and shame will come to him who disdains correction, but he who regards a rebuke will be honored. 19 A desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to depart from evil. 20 He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. 21 Evil pursues sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. 22 A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. 23 Much food is in the fallow ground of the poor, and for lack of justice there is waste. 24 He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly. 25 The righteous eats to the satisfying of his soul, but the stomach of the wicked shall be in want. Thanks for reading with me today. Come back tomorrow as we continue our journey through the Bible. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next day.